Hey everybody, I'm going to show you how I make my radio show from home using Audacity. I pull down my songs with Media Human off of YouTube, which does take the ads out. And I already have my spots, my bumpers from the radio station in my saved downloads. I have a mic that I'm using, an SM58, and an audio interface, which you can get for $100 or so. And they're a little weird. That was the hardest thing I think I had, was to set that up in my computer and to have it be read by Audacity, where this is where it needs to be read. It needs to show up in this little spot. When I use my computer for other things, I do need to unplug my mic to hear YouTube videos or something like that. When I replug in my mic, it won't show here. It'll be blank, so I do need to hit this thing. This took me forever to figure out. Transport, rescan audio devices, and then you should see your microphone is working. So that is what that's where you need to start. So to start with my show, I always start with an underwriter. So I'm going to hit File, Import, Audio. I'm going to go to where I keep my underwriting things, and hit that and open, and there it is. Now I'm going to speak after that. So I know to listen back, I can just go to this little top thing with the numbers, and it gives you a little green arrow.
Dick Insurance.
There you go. Now, so to record my voice, I'm going to hit this red record button, and then to stop it, you have to hit this little guy here. Hi everybody, I'm Gail, and I'm making my radio show, and this is a test. Stop. So now I'm going to listen to the end of this and see how it matches up, time-wise.
Come.
Hi everybody, I'm Gail, and I'm making my... If I wanted to tighten it up, though, I'd use this back and forth arrow, which you use a lot, the time shift arrow, and go down here and just move it over just a little bit. Now, when you're exactly lined up, it's going to show a yellow line, but I don't, I'm going past the yellow line because I want it to be just really nice and tight. And here we go.
Come.
Hi everybody, I'm Gail, and I'm making my... Now, to get these two things to become one track, instead of, because if I add another track, it's going to be below it, you know what I mean? It's going to be messy. I like to keep it neat. I suggest everybody does that. You hit Control A. That highlights this whole thing. You hit Track, Tracks, Mix, Mix, and render to new track. So now this bottom thing is your mix. And when you look up, you have your audio track. That was me speaking right there. And above that, you have the spot that I started with. So I'm going to put this left X, which means kill it. Well, it says close, but I say kill it. Kill it. So now you just have your one mix. Now this is in stereo. When you record your voice, I guess it's in mono. It sounds fine on the radio and online. I don't know. Don't ask me. So I need to play my 4 spots that I have at certain times. So I'm going to have to be aware of that as I make my show. So the next thing I'm going to do is pull down a song. So File, Import, Audio. But I'm going to go down to my Media Human section. Oops. It's because you're watching me. Music. And now I'll start with Al Green. So, I mean, I have a ton of stuff. Tons. The bad thing about doing the show not live is you just miss that spreading things out and kind of, I don't know. But you might know what you want to do in your head anyways. I never know what I want to do. So I'm going to do this Al Green. People get ready. So here we go. We're going to open it. And it becomes its own track. Now this looks a little light for me. So to fatten this up, I'm going to go use the seesaw button, which is called an envelope tool. I'm going to hit it in the middle. It gives it a little white dot, and I can fatten it up. Just a little bit. I don't want it to be touching the edges, but it just looked a little thin for me for music. Now, say the beginning of this was a messy song. Well, first of all, I'm going to move it over so it's not overlapping that spot in my words. So now the beginning of this, let's hear how the transition goes. Hitting that green thing.
On each Thursday at a newsstand near you, online.
Blah, 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 blah. Hi everybody, I'm Gail, and I'm making my radio show, and this is a test. That's good. Now say that, for example, that this was a lot of audience, it was a live track. In order for me to, I can fade these things in. You can do this to any song for whatever reason. Maybe you want to, who knows what you want to do. That envelope tool, you'd hit make a couple of dots, bonk, bonk. I'd do 3 dots, and I would now grab that first guy and bring him way down It's very touchy. So all of a sudden, watch, I'll just move and the whole thing like disappears. Boink. Oh, nope, I don't want that low. But say I want to do it like that. Maybe I bring this second dot in just a little bit to be more gradual. It's just a touchy little thing. So anyways, that's how we clean up the beginning or end with claps or whatever you need to do. And then, of course, you can, do it so it overlaps more, so it would overlap your words. So let's listen to that.
Online at worcestermagazine.com.
Hi everybody, I'm Gail and I'm making my radio show and this is a test. See what I'm trying to, that's my example, not a great example, but it gets you the point. So now say I'm happy with what I just did, I could put in another song next, or let's just clean it up. So Control A, tracks, mix and render to new track. So now I have the mix at the bottom, and I'm going to scroll up and get rid of all this other stuff. The old mix, the Al Green, now we just have that one mix. If I wanted to put in a spot, I would, if it's time for a bumper or a underwriter or whatever you need to do, that same thing. You just tighten it up each time that you do it. I'll do one more. Import, audio. Let's do another song, Albert King. So now that's a fat one. That is perfect. You don't need to change anything with the, with this seesaw thing. That's a perfectly good way to have a song look. So I'm moving it over, and I don't want it to go to that yellow line. I definitely want it to overlap, because you see how this song kind of fades out? If anything, this is too much space. I think that's too much space. I'm gonna stop that, and I'm gonna move him back just a little bit more. So here we go. Fading out. Yep, good. So I would hit Control A, tracks, mix and render to new track. Now as you go, this is going to take longer and longer. My show's 2 hours, so by the end, it maybe takes 30 seconds to do that. Killing the old mix, killing Albert King. Now we just have the one mix. At the end of the show is where it gets a little harder. So say I have a 10-minute show. Say this 10 minutes is my 2-hour spot. So I'm looking at it like, well, now what do I do? Well, I would try to either speak in between these songs or put a bumper in, something like that. So to make a split here, I'm going to use the split guy, which looks like an I, but it's called Selection Tool. And I'm going to put it right, well, I might want to blow this up, zoom in a little bit so I get it right. Now when I zoom, everything moves, so I got to scroll back over. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to hit Edit, Clip Boundaries, Split. So now when I go to try to get that to be exactly at 10 minutes, I'm scrolling it over here, I can use my little guy, and that's going to actually have a split in it. So now I'm looking at this 10-minute mark as my 2-hour mark, you know what I mean? At the end of my show. And now I have this much space. So yeah, I could probably talk for a 45-second time, or I could stick in a spot, audio. Looking for one. We'll stick in this Comanchero thing. So here he is. So now I'm bringing him over. So now let's see how that worked out.
Hello. We're Comanchero.
So that's good. So now I'm going to clean this up. Control A, all, tracks, mix and render to new track. So now I'm just going to have a little less space in here that I need to fill up. So I'm going to, again, go back up here and delete my old mix, delete the Comanchero. Now I know what I have to fill in. I'm going to try to talk that through. So how much time? So now I'm recording to talk in and make that space be something worthwhile for everybody. So I hope everybody's enjoying this great radio station, and that everybody's a member. If they're not a member, you know how to do that. Making this a generic kind of video tool to use Audacity, so I don't want to get too much into where I'm at and who I'm working for. We're all aliens. That ought to work. time-wise. You know, I'm just kind of watching it and seeing how much space I have. You know what I mean? So here we go. We're going to shut this off. And now I'm going to move it over. And that doesn't look bad. Of course, I'm going to, you know, listen back. Use that little green arrow.
Massachusetts. Online at WCU.
Blah, 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 blah.
So now I'm recording to talk in and make that.
Now I don't have to
be
listen to all that
something
crap again, so I can go to
that'll
here.
work time-wise. You know, I'm just kind of watching it and seeing how much space I have. You know what I mean?
You know?
So here we go. We're gonna shut this off.
Now say I wanted to cut some of that, I would use this little tool here. Cut it. Use the finger drag. It's only addressing this audio track. Cut delete. Now that's there. So now it's a little bit cleaner.
Time-wise, you know, I'm just kind of watching it and seeing how much space I have. You know what I mean?
There we go. So now I'd hit, you know, Control A again. Tracks, mix, and render to new track. And finally, we're gonna kill these top guys. We just have that last mix. Now to bring this into being its own thing, you can save it as a project, but I usually finish my show all in one swoop just to know that I kind of paid attention and was in the same mood for the whole thing or whatever, just like a live show. File, export. Export is MP3. Now you're going to name it. I've been told to name mine. Am I forgetting anything to tell you? I think that was everything. Yeah, I think so. Mine is 4 period. Thursday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. The date in a 6-digit form, 01/18/21, we'll say. 2 hours, MP3. This is what I was told to name mine. You'd probably be naming yours something different. And again, you want to really keep track of those underwriters that you need to stick in at the right times while you're making your show. Save. Now there's sometimes a lot of words come into this little place, and you just, sometimes not much, you just want to click on it and back it up so that that's all empty, because I don't know what it means, but some video I watched told me to do it, so I've been doing that. Hit OK. So now it's saving this show. If it was a 2-hour show, it would take a lot longer, you know, maybe a minute and a half or something like that, 2 minutes to save it. And then because I'm done and I don't need this project anymore, I'm going to hit the X to get out of Audacity. Save changes? No, because I'm done. But if I was saying yes, because I wanted to get back to it later, that's a whole nother thing. Good luck. Hit no. Now to upload this to the radio station's website, it's through a Dropbox, which you'll get an email from the manager about how to, you know, you'll have your own name in our Dropbox, and you would just upload it to that Dropbox and then let the manager know that you did your upload. And that's it. I hope this helped. And call me anytime or email me for any questions. Bye.